Hi, it's Shawn Casemore here, and I want to thank you for joining me on another one of my Sell More with Casemore video series. Today I wanted to talk about building trust. Let me tell you why. I find with a lot of the individuals that I coach and a lot of the teams and sales teams that I work with, when they're not able to make a sale, when they're not able to close or close quickly, a lot of time what's behind that is the fact that they've rushed through building trust. So let me explain what I mean by that. Trust and rapport are still necessary to make a sale. Whether you're making a complex sale that takes 6 months to a year to bring together, or whether you're trying to sell something pretty quickly, somebody shows up and you make the sale, you still have to build trust and rapport. And you have to maintain that, especially if you want to have an additional sale or be able to expand on that sale with additional products, features, and service. So what I wanted to talk about is trust building, because what I find is a lot of times as sales professionals, we tend to skip over trust or work through the trust stage so quickly that no trust is really built. And so although we might believe we have trust built, we really don't. Then what happens? The sale falls through. We lose contact with our prospect, right? They take a proposal from us or they accept our quote and then they disappear, never to be heard from again. And we wonder, well, what happened there? Well, what happened was you didn't build trust, or you skipped that step when you were trying to move them from a cold prospect to a customer, right? A warm prospect into an actual customer. So here are 3 things I want you to consider when you're attempting to build trust. And keep in mind that is a clear stage that you should be making sure you work through. So here's what I mean by that. Step 1, when you're trying to build trust, you have to ask the tough questions. Here's what I mean by that. A lot of times in the individuals that I'm coaching, they have a sales script. They have questions they need to ask, but they get nervous. They get uncomfortable. They get lazy and they don't ask the tough questions, right? What's your budget for this? Sometimes that's a tough question to ask because the response you might get is, I don't know, how much is it going to cost me, right? And that can put you in a position where you think, oh my goodness, I'm not sure how to answer this. So we tend to skip over those tough questions. You can't do it. You have to ask the tough questions. And here's why. If you ask tough questions in a genuine way, what tends to happen is you start to build trust because your prospect knows that you're going to bring forward information, ask questions that you need to ask in order to find them the right solution. So make sure you ask those tough questions. Number 2, kind of building on that, be genuine. You've often heard about be authentic, right? But my point is be genuine. Be who you are. We're all different people. We're all individuals. We have strengths. We have weaknesses. We make mistakes, right? If you're genuine in who you are, you're not trying to put on a fake smile, right, in order to make a sale. You're not reading from a script. You're still incorporating who you are as an individual. It can help build trust because people start to realize that you're a genuine person. You are who you are. Think about the last time, for example, you met with that cliche used car salesman who, and let me give you actually an example of this. I was looking at a car a couple of years ago and I reached out to somebody via email. We talked back and forth a bit and I said, look, here's the deal. I have a vehicle to trade. Here's the specs, here's pictures, here's details. I need to get X for it if I'm going to make this deal. And he said, oh yeah, we can work with those numbers, no problem. So I made the 2-hour drive to go see him. When I get there, he shows me the car. I'm like, that sounds great. We've kind of already talked about a general number for my trade. We come in, we sit down, he goes, well, I can't hit that target in the trade, but are you interested in the car? So what are you talking about? I just drove 2 hours, right, to get here, and now you tell me you can't meet the trade on the email. You said you could work with those numbers, right? He wasn't being genuine, and just listening to him, it's like he was reading a script. He thought he was going to pull one over on me, and I can tell you, I don't trust him or that dealership to ever work with him again. So you have to make sure you're genuine. So your boss, your leader, right, or even if you're running a company, you may have a script that you know works, but make sure you incorporate who you are because that helps build trust. Last but not least, and this is, I would say, one of the most important pieces, do what you say you're going to do. If you say I'll email you tomorrow, email tomorrow. If you're going to send a proposal by the end of the day, send the proposal, right? If you're going to call next week on Tuesday at 10, call next week Tuesday at 10. When we don't follow up with the things we commit to doing during our discussions or meetings with prospects, we hurt the trust that we're trying to build, right? We take away from that trust because if I say I'm going to send you a proposal by the end of today and I don't, right? What does that say? It means I can't be trusted. My word is not something that really matters. Now, maybe I can't get the proposal to you, but at minimum I owe you a call to tell you why. So there are 3 tips that I find are really key to ensuring you build trust with your prospects, and three areas that I find a lot of people tend to skip over or not think about when they're working through their stages in the sales process. I'm interested, what other tips, suggestions do you have to help build trust? Make sure you comment below, and you can subscribe to these videos. I release at least 1 or 2 every single week. Until then, I look forward to seeing you next time here on the Sell More with Casemore video series. So hey, why don't you get out there and sell something today?